All right, man. You ready for it?
Yep.
Let's get it. Let's talk about this awesome Eraserhead deck. So, doing another deck doctor, talking about Eraserhead. Hit me with the elevator pitch. What's going on here?
So when my hero originally launched, I set out and said my top two favorite characters were Eraserhead and Shigaraki.
Yeah.
I started playing Eraser. I bounced between Void and All for the longest time. Then Void just did more. So I played it, got decently well in like provisionals and 1Ks.
Mm-hmm.
But I needed to give other decks love, so I started doing other things and just kind of pushed Eraser to the side because he was effective.
Right.
Then set 2 came out and I was like, now I'm a candy store. There's just so much.
There is a lot.
I think the first rendition of this and the all build, I looked and was like, why is my Eraser 100 and some card?
We love that.
So this is a relatively slimmed down version for at least the Void.
Yeah. I'm going through currently, and I am grabbing some cards we get to chat about that we might have missed. So it looks like we're doing the like a charge kick kind of thing going on.
Well, usually if they see a Eraser and Void, they're going to expect that reciprocal burst.
Right.
So it kind of isn't there as a bait. Extend, I don't know how many people actually know this, is a charge.
Mm-hmm.
So it just worked with Gran Torino and Ochako wanting this whole charge package. And I mean, if you let me get momentum, I'll just accidentally kill you with reciprocal burst for no reason.
Right. And putting +2 speed on all your moves is a really easy way to steal momentum. Oh, I think I missed one. I think I missed a card I want to talk about. So yeah. I really like Double Jab Pummel here. I think that card is growing on me more and more every time that I see it as an option inside of decks. So hit me with what are your like Jetstream Crash is like an interesting choice that you have put in this deck, along with Double Jab Pummel, along with Airstream Driver. Like, hit me with, like, obviously we got the extend burst ideas, right? We've been talking about trading Ice Strike. I've been talking about this for days now. What's the thought here on Crash and Pummel?
So Crash, the only thing I don't really like about it is it's a 5-check, and I'm kind of stuffing it with 5 checks. But
Right.
it's an Eraser, or, well, mostly Eraser. It is a 6-speed mid for 5, which means you're either going to need to use resources, or if you want to block it cheap, it's that to bait out the plus ultras.
Right.
But then I'm going to give you a choice. You can either block this, and my next attack's going to get 3 damage, and you can hope to block it, or you can just eat 5, give me that momentum, and my next one gets 2 speed, which says 4 speed for Eraser.
Right.
And then you go into something like any of the things other than like Pummel. It's basically
Unblockable,
like if they block,
right?
If they block, that just means Airstream Driver's pretty much just going to hit and for a lot.
Yeah.
If for some reason I play this after an extend, it is a 8 mid for 7. That makes my next kick deadly.
Yeah.
Double Jab Pummel is the only thing that throws like some of that off, but there's literally only 7 cards that cannot combo with out of 20.
Right. Yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. I think Double Jab Pummel being like the thing to extend my combos is like neat. Like Double Jab and extend into Reciprocal Burst feels really good. Extend Pummel Burst, right? Extend into Pummel into Burst feels really good.
And honestly, looking at Pummel, if I manage to get the combo enhance, you're looking at Eraser. Do you want him to draw 2 cards and discard 2?
Right, 100%. Yeah.
I mean, he already has that +2 check, so he doesn't care what you do with it next. And then, if for some reason you go into deadlock, you're probably just gonna die.
Right, 100%. So let me take and look at some of the cards that I've put into our sideboard as like options, right? Attack wise, the only thing that I could really think of is Rebound Sidekick. Rebound Sidekick is a kick, obviously, and it's a 5 mid for 6 with extend, and that feels really good. That always goes to momentum, no matter what. And so it feels really amazing on Recipro Burst. I think the Void kick package got really, 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 really good. So maybe this thing at like a 2 of would not feel terrible. The only issue is it is not a charge for Pummel, which I don't know how married you are to this card. I love the first half of this lineup. If maybe we cut Pummel and focus slightly more on the kick and do something else, I think you're going to probably find more success. But if Pummel is the angle, then some of these just might not be there.
I haven't tested this much because I decided to be evil and played some Mentos at locals. Just sat there.
I love that. You just wanted your whole 60 minutes. I get it.
I mean, they're gonna take the win because for ours. Since I'm the judge, I just take a loss because it gets them more prizing.
Right.
And I can go play in like Manas on Tuesday or Legendary on Tuesday, and I play in big events on webcam. It's like I can get my points.
Right. That makes sense. Reciprocal Acceleration Kick. Another card that is a really good tactic with Rebound Sidekick. It's a really good tactic with this Airstream driver. Of like, if it's blocked, your next one gets +3 damage. I'm down to give this thing 3 bonus damage. If it's not blocked, I'm down to give it more. Like this card with Jetstream Crash feels like it's going to kill really, really quick, right? Like crash into extend or crash into acceleration feels good, and then we can burst afterwards. And same thing with if like we decide that we really want to go for this Pummel route, I actually think that the right call is to probably put in double Hardened Pummel somewhere. Cut double Jab Pummel down to a 2 of, take Jet Scream Crash and cut it down to a 3 of and put double Hardened Pummel. Just because like it gives us 2 more real kill conditions that aren't burst, that uses less momentum, right? Because this still work? Oh, this says only your charge kick. Maybe not. I mean, no, we also have Airstream Driver as like a kill condition, right? Because this thing's very fast for very, very hard. It's a 6/8 high for 9 for free. Man, this card's messed up. This card's so good. This card's so good. But Pummel is that like little bonus extra that we get to do under the Void symbol. Besides that, literally, I think your tech lineup is absolutely perfect. I think the number one thing that I want to do though is cut this down to a 2 of. I think it's really, really cute. I don't think it needs to be 3. Just because you do have those 7 cards that don't interact with it. And I want to cut this down to a 3 of. And I want to put in like 2 Reciprocal Acceleration Kicks and feel great. That is what I would do. Or maybe even like we look at Block Zone. Like these are all highs. This is the only low. Why not push this up to a 4 of?
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah, I know in the side, my other 2 ideas for like attacks to mix things up are like the Tattoo Fist and the whatever it's called, Confident Counter-Strike.
Yo, Tattoo Fist is kind of sick in this deck, huh? It's an 8 mid for 5. That's cool.
If you need plus ultra bait, that is your plus ultra bait.
There it is. Yeah. And I like Confident Counter-Strike in a lot of discard decks. This is a 7 mid for 7 on a 4 diff in him. That's great. That's wonderful. That's really, really good.
And it does not feel bad blocking because it's either going to reduce their onslaught of you or they're going to burn 2.
Right. Yeah.
Which I have played decks, and that too can go a long way if you learn how to count.
Right. For sure. So there's the question, right? Is I think we are down 1 attack from where we started because I cut 1 crash and 1 pummel, and I only put in 1 Airstream Driver. If you got to put in 1 more attack again, what would it be?
Well, if we take out the pummel, I have room for 3. I could easily do like 2 counter strikes and 2 tattoo fists, or do 2 accelerations and then 1 of the other 2. Go with that kick. Go with that kick package.
I think that 2 Recipro Acceleration and 2 Rebound is probably what I would choose, personally. I think that there is a list for Eraserhead with Tattoo Fist and Confident Counter-Strike. I just don't think that this is it.
Fair
Just
enough.
because Jet Stream Crash actually doesn't, excuse me, is not a tactic with the card, and neither is Extend. They just like, they seem like good techniques as opposed to good tactics.
That's fair.
Yeah, so let's just give that a try. Let's put this here, and we've pushed this here. And so like this is a tried and true idea. We're here, and then how am I? I'm 1 over. What have I done? 2. What have I done? How are we at 21?
I bumped driver up to a 4. It was a 3 before.
Let's toss it back down to 3 question mark. We do get the block high like it's nobody's business, and our low blocks are a little suspect on the void symbol. So like we'll see. We'll have to fix that with our foundations, which it looks like we do.
I mean, void also tells you you're blocking the zone I want anyway.
True. Yeah, tape is pretty good. Tape erase plus ultra. All right, so let's talk about foundations. Let's talk about foundations. I'll go back to the none category. Is there anything in here that you absolutely love that you like? Yo, we're not touching these ones.
I'm not married to any of them, but these were the list of ones that I feel kept me living long enough to kill people, especially since there's so many throws now.
Right.
And like at first I had confused out of 4, but then there were other things I needed room for.
Right.
Spooky and like the minor trials of like low versions of this deck, I fell in love with because being able to basically put you at negative speed and be like, no.
Right. I think Eraser plays Spooky really well. Yeah. How do you feel about Fusion?
In the test, I haven't really got it out, but it's only at a 2.
Right.
It's just another speedway if for some reason I lose my races, which I have had happen in the past with the staggering positivity. I just shuffled all my races back in, and then I was locked out of -2 speed.
Right.
And it made that turn really hard to deal with.
Yeah. Same question. Small and limber.
Small and limber, I put in there. I think I might have taken out the reason I had it in there when I had think fast.
Okay.
That way, like I could block, and then someone would play an attack where it's like, I need to deal with this. I just say no, and then this would be ready.
Fair.
So it kept me alive against string decks that I had no option but to deal with, like Tokiomi. I can shut them off, but I mean, if you already have 3 Dark Shadows, there's nothing I'm doing to you.
Right. My personal opinion is I think this doesn't have a ton of value in the deck. It's a 1/4 that gives 1/1, and there's not like a really proactive way for us to get a card out of our stage. Like we're not Grand Torino, right? Like we don't get to blow a card up kind of for free.
True.
Like we don't have any destruction here, so like we're kind of at the mercy of our rival in order to do stuff, and it's only on one side of the turn. I would much rather see a thing like a dissolving the conflict, or even like calling for backup, right? That covers the 1/5 mid block slot as opposed to a 1/4 mid block slot, and like actually feels really proactive on my turn. I mean, 8 hand size eraser like seems like a good idea.
That is true. Having cards in hand is always nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on cutting Swan and Limber and putting a double calling in?
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Now let's cut that. We'll put in 2 of these bad boys, and then the only other things that I could really look at that I wanted to add were things like dissolving the conflict. I think this card's incredible inside of 7 hand size characters, especially ones as control based as you are, and then mainly passionate guide to let me build more on my opponent's turn. Like I think that's like really debilitating. Like being able to block with a confused and then build it down, and then look at your opponent and be like, I know you want to play a throw next, but now you don't get to, is like just like really good.
Yeah, looking at this list, I could actually use something I told my Kurigiri friend he could try and do. because of if I can work the manly passionates in, which I might switch those out for the fusions.
Yeah, we could do that, or we could take out ambush tactics. Because our deck now is going to be hitting pretty hard because of reciprocal acceleration, kick, rebound, sidekick, being able to add cards into the card pool. Burst is one of our main kill cards. Crash, driver, all hit like trucks. Like we're not missing damage anymore, which was like Eraser's big issue previously. And so like accidentally getting +1 damage is like sucks. And we never want to reduce the speed of our attack to 0, ever. We just don't want to
That
do
is
that.
fair.
And so like just cutting this for just like 3 more low blocks, or even 2 low blocks and then like 1 dissolving, right? Just to like round out our zones. The highest represented zones that we should have should be highs and lows. Mid should be our least represented because of our character. We just go pick up a race.
This is true.
like we should play so many to the point where like I want to cut Tiaki Fanatic down to like a 2 of, and then that's where our dissolvings come in. Ooh. And we look at our opponent and say, on +2 progressive difficulty, +3 progressive difficulty, after a couple of hard breaker ones, you need to play that card again for me, right? And now our block zones feel way, way more even. And if we need to, we can just sideboard the third Tiaki for a real deadlock threat, right?
Fair.
We got Tiaki, we've got Fruits, we've got Night Watch, which all feels great. Night Watch gets to pick up reciprocal acceleration kick. I'm in. Let's just sling this move again, huh?
That would hurt.
Yeah. All in all, the last card that I could maybe see us wanting to main board, if we wanted to take plus ultra and put it down to a 1 of, is just main board 1 Blood Curdle. I think this says that Eraserhead doesn't need to constantly erase his opponent's character on his turn, right? Like maybe they have like a solid defensive piece. Like I don't know what Nomu does against this card. I just don't know. This card is so high impact that it just feels great.
Yeah, I made a list of all the characters that affects because they technically do something on defense, and I was like, huh, this actually hits a lot of characters for no reason.
Yeah. Yes, it really, really does. And I think this card is going to be all over in Vegas. Are you going to Vegas, by the way?
I wish I could. Unless my job switch kicks off really hard, then probably not.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, I think Blood Curdle is going to be a 4 of in every sideboard, main board across those 3 symbols. It is the reason why I want to play Void right now. I just have to figure out how my fire list looks. Yeah. All in all, what are your thoughts on the changes? I think that Double Jab is a good card. I don't think it needs to be in this particular list with what Eraserhead wants to do. Not with the like extend burst combo happening. I like extend and I like Double Jab, but I don't think that Eraser has the person to play it.
That's fair. Yeah, I was mostly just looking at it extending my turn because it gives, if I can combo it, it gives +2 to my next check.
Right. But so does reciprocal acceleration kick as long as we can pass it, right? Because we just clear those cards out of our card pool, which is essentially +2 to our check for the whole turn.
This is true.
Yeah. And this card has a neat victory stamp on it, where the other ones don't. So, I mean, obviously, we have to flex our wealth.
Oh yeah, just, flex the victory kicks, the victory plus ultras.
Right. All of them. XR races that everybody has access to.
Go beat people in some tournaments and then get, I think it's judge weights and victory dissolving conflicts.
Perfect. Oh, victory dissolving conflict sounds so sick. Oh my goodness. Anyways, anywho. Any last minute thoughts, man?
I just have one question. I want to make sure I was right when I told someone this.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you block with villains defeated, and response
Yes.
on block, you manly passionate.
Yeah.
You then go to the attack resolving. You can then flip villains defeated to remove the attack.
100%.
I am so down with this deck now.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. One of my absolute favorite ways to deal with that interaction.
Yeah. Like the only thing I had against like this or the prior 4 foundations, like I really wish I could have had manly passionate so I could do this trick and just annoy people.
Yeah, I think mainly passionate guy is going to be 3, if not 4, in every deck under its symbols for the rest of time. It's just like a really good exchange rate of flip a foundation, build my block, clear my pool, build extra resources, do stuff. The only issue is you fall into a trap of like oh man, I don't get to build this card, and so now I want to build it, so now I gotta overcommit to play it when a lot of times you won't. It won't be the correct move.
Yeah, I think the only other issue I see me falling into is Deadlock because Void doesn't really have anti-deadlock.
100%. It's just one of those things that as a void symbol, you just need to be comfortable playing in deadlock, understand what people's deadlock options are, and just feel comfortable in deadlock, which is why I don't love taking out these Taiyakis, but that's just to keep our count relatively low, because like we're playing 20 attacks in a 68 card deck. That's so low, man. You're gonna have to be sculpting these and like build hard early, but then hold a decent amount of attacks so that you don't have to block with, or build a decent amount of hold a decent amount of foundation so you don't have to block with your attacks.
Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably build this and give it a try.
Yeah. If you feel like you can't kill people, if you feel like that is an issue, we just gotta cut cards. We gotta get this number down closer to 60. Put plus ultra at a 1 of. Honestly, you could even see yourself putting a race at a 3 of, right? Get rid of think fast, because like that card is not necessary inside of our deck. There's like learning the standards could be a 1 of. Training with Gunhead could be a 1 of. Dissolving could be a 1 of. These different options. Fusion could be a 1 of. Like there's lots of things that you could do to slim this thing down. Either that or just put more attacks in, make this closer to 24, and then slim a couple, like 70 or 68 inside of 24 seems cool. Cut 4 cards, add 4 cards, let it rock.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to give that a try.
Perfect. All right, buddy. Well, thank you much for the support over on Patreon. Good luck with this awesome Eraserhead deck. I'm excited to see how you do as one of our Void Overlords.
Thank you. I'll try and, do decent.
Sounds good, man. All right, we'll see you next time.
Yep.
Peace.